Hey guys, Riff here. Today we are going to be going over a quick guide on Path of Idol. I put about 75 hours in the game. I've been seeing a lot of questions on the store page, in forums. So a lot of questions that need answering, a lot of comments about the game, about how hard it is to progress, how slow it is. I don't believe that at all. So we're gonna get into 10 tips that will get you into tier 10 in about 24 hours, okay? Again, I put 75 hours into this game already. So I know a few things. I think right now I am in tier. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know how far it got while I was at work. Right now I'm in tier 17. Okay, I'm in tier 17, and I got some tips for you. So let's get started. All right, guys, my first tip is to follow the path to progression. The path to progression is going to be these missions on the bottom of the screen. They're going to be indicated by the steel. The steel gives you these missions, and when you complete all 10 of them, you get to upgrade to a different tier. Okay? So that is the beginning thing to do, is always follow the path to progression on the bottom. If you start doing that, you'll be on your way. Okay? Okay, tip number 2 is to not waste your upgrade points. So when you guys are AFK or you're actively playing the game, you'll get these bones, right? I call them upgrade points, but they're bones pretty much. So a lot of times it'll be tempting when you unlock a new tier to spend all your bones and max out your market, max out your workshop, max out your prison. You kind of want to get everything around the same level, but be conscious of what upgrades you get. There are some upgrades that early on will be a waste of points, and you'll end up wasting your bones and have to wait a lot of time to get enough bones to get to the next tier. So you always want to hold off and kind of just keep following the same path. It goes with tip number 1. So tip number 2 is do not waste your upgrade points. Save your bones until you need that particular upgrade, okay? Moving on, we are at the third tip. My third tip is that the town is lava, meaning, if my action RPG fans, you will know what I'm talking about. It's meaning that all of your teams should always be moving. All right, these should always be moving. Even if they are losing, they are still earning currency. So the town is lava, always be moving. All right. Tip number 4, learn how the market works. I'm gonna give you guys a quick mini tutorial on the market, but in short, you can refresh gear, which is pretty good early on, so you can get all your characters geared up. You have your orders. When you unlock the orders, this is a lot of good early game currency. So what you do is you click on this and you put an item. I recommend doing items that you have doubles of, because you don't want to waste items that you might need for a build, okay? So make sure you use the orders, and then after you fill it all up, you get extra resources by completing this up top. So complete all the orders here. Deliver, and then you click deliver on all of these, right? And then eventually this bar will be full, and then you'll get a new fresh set of orders. If it's an impossible order to fill, just hit refresh, but you don't have a certain amount of them, okay? Eventually you unlock the vault. This is a later game progression thing, but early on you still will get it. When you start collecting runes, you'll be able to buy items with runes. This vault is like probably one of the most overpowered ways to get items for these certain builds. Because with this, you literally can just pick any item that you want that's here, and you can refresh it as long as you buy one. As long as I have the runes to buy one item, I can refresh this vault. I can't do that right now because I have no runes. Actually, let me open up some runes. Let's do that. Oh, well, I guess I don't have the runes required. Oh my god. So if you have the required runes for a particular item, you can refresh the vault, and then you'll get a whole new set of items. And it'll keep refreshing as long as you buy one item. So please, guys, learn the market, right? There's certain upgrades in here. When you go from upgrade to upgrade, read the side upgrades. You have to read these and know what you're spending money on. Some of them are not worth it. Things like equipment purchase price reduced, early on, this can be a waste of upgrade points. Don't buy that yet. Later on, you could do that, but early on, you don't want to really do that. Okay, I think that's going to be it for the market. All right, guys, the market is OP. The market is your friend. Stay in the market. Also, you can open up all these chests and then you can sell items. You don't have to worry about selling items individually. If you just click put in, the game will put all your items in the market, and then you hit sell, and you can sell them in bulk. Okay. If you hold down the right click, you open all your items at the same time, and then you just hit sell. It will sell all. All right. That's it on the market. Okay, number 5, we are going to look at build guides. Build guides are your friend. If you are looking to push on this game, starting up with these build guides will help you out a lot, right? So when I first started, you're using white and yellow gear, and you pretty much just kind of want to cover your characters and make sure they all have gear in these slots, right? Eventually, you want to go look at the guides. Once you start getting legendaries and set gear, you want to see, well, okay, say I have a couple of pieces of Bardos or, another set. You find what character that set can go on, and you want to start collecting them and then putting those on those characters, and it's going to be a huge amount of damage and survivability based on what the build style is. So if it's a DPS build, you'll know that based on what the build play style says, preferred attributes, whether or not it's strength, dex, health, or whatever. So just make sure you look at this build guide, guys. It's really important. Each character has a different, I think it's 5 builds per character. It tells you what talents to put in. It tells you what gear you're looking for. It's super OP. This is probably one of the most important tips I can give you is follow these build guides. It's not that complicated. A question I've seen a lot, or a comment I saw a lot on the Steam store page, was that the game doesn't tell you anything. Well, you have to read. I'm sorry, this game is for readers. So if you look at any of this gear, it's going to tell you exactly what it's going to do, so you know how your character is going to play. If you're looking to push, right, we're looking for a tank, healer, and a DPS. Typical team comp you get in most games. You're usually going to do that on most of these paths of progression. Sometimes you don't need that, but most of the time you do, right? If you're curious about how something works, hover over the stats. They explain each stat. If you click on more stats on your character sheet, hover over it. It will explain it to you. Guys, build guides are important. Reading is important. All right, that was tip number 5. Okay, tip number 6 is going to be upgrade your gear. You want to upgrade your gear in the workshop at least until tier 10 or level 10, right? The reason I say level 10 is because after level 10, it starts costing runes. So when you get a new piece of gear, especially weapons, and it's a piece of gear for a build that you might be pushing, even if it's a yellow item, if you don't have legendaries, you still want to get your weapons up to level 10 at least. You also want to get your gear that you have equipped to level 10. It only costs gold. Gold is free. Gold keeps coming in. All right, so you always want to get everything to level 10. As you can see, once you get past level 10, it starts asking for runes. So that's why I say don't upgrade past level 10 until later in the game when you really want to start pushing. So level 10, guys, make sure you go to each piece of gear, make sure they're level 10. That's going to be a lot of power. Okay, each character, when I'm looking to progress, I'm going through each piece of gear, and I'm like, hey, my character's stuck. Why can't I go? Go to each piece, make sure it's at level 10 in the workshop. Also, make sure it's not too low of a level based on the content that you're doing. If all of your gear is level 55 and you have a piece of level 10 gear, you got to get rid of it. It's costing you a lot of power. You really have to replace that as soon as possible. All right, guys, upgrade your gear. Tip number 7, upgrade your character. We're going to have the temple right here, guys. The temple is really nice to increase some of your character's stats. So we could click on a character, we could drag him to the temple. Let me use a lower level guy so I can actually put some points and show you. So if we put a guy in the temple, what happens is you get to put points to level this guy up and give him stats. So it gives you mana and health every time you click. This is free power. Sometimes if my team isn't doing good, it's because I forgot to bless my character in the temple. So make sure you upgrade your character. You need to do that. While we're talking about upgrading your character, we're also going to be talking about what you unlock later on, the baptism, where you can re-roll your skills. Super important to get the build that you're looking for. You can choose what skills you want to, you can unlock and lock them, and you can re-roll them. All right. You also have talents. I would read the talents before you click on them. You really want to work on these talents and get something that matches your build. Sometimes you can't get that, so you kind of want to match something that if you need more damage, you make sure you find damage nodes. If you need more survivability, you find survivability. Read the nodes before you start just clicking blindly. These are super important. Sometimes if you get stuck, you could take 10 points out of one thing and put it on another, and your team starts going crazy and just killing everything. So make sure you guys really look into upgrading your character with the temple and your talent points. Tip number 8 is exploration. Do not forget about your exploration. So if you look on the bottom, you go to retreat, and you could choose to leave your current expedition. So you leave that, and when you look and you go to change on the top right, and you look at the map, on the bottom you have exploration. Exploration lets you choose different nodes to pick which resources you want to farm, and you select it, and then you just hit go team go. Your team will go, and it's gonna, I'll click on it for now, and your team pretty much has to kill a bunch of mobs. At the end of that, you get a bag full of resources. After you do so many explorations, you will get to level up your exploration level. My exploration level is at level 11. If you don't like the current map, you can re-roll, and you have a certain amount of points you could do that with. You get all this stuff by being AFK. So the abyssal scales and the gazing eye, you get that from being AFK. So make sure you complete your explorations. Make sure you level up your explorations as well. Okay? Okay, guys, number 9, we are going to look at the Worshipper. If you look at the top right of the screen, I have a Worshipper level of 79. The Worshipper is where you level up your account. It's pretty much account progression, and each archetype on the game has a golem. As you level up the golem, each class will get a different, will get passive stats. If you look up on the top, these are passive stats that my character is getting. If you look as well, you get additional talents that you might not even have these talents yet, or you might get additional points if you already had it already. Super important for getting your character more powerful. Sometimes your character gets rolled without certain talents. So with these, you could add it to your character so you can hit that certain build that you're looking for. Super important. They're very expensive, so make sure you do these before you log off and spend all of your money before you head out for the day. Super important to do. The Worshipper and the Golem, super important. Okay, guys, tip number 10 is that your active time is just as important as your passive time. So if you're not playing and the game is off, you're going to earn blood, gold, and bones. You use that for upgrading your character, as we talked about before. Now, if you're actively playing, your character is going to earn reward chests from clearing the stage. Even failing the stage, you'll get reward chests as well. You get undying souls that you could use to upgrade your character's XP. You get rune pouches, but most importantly is these gear pouches. I would rather have these random loot rolls than being offline and just getting gold and other resources. So when I can stay logged in, I do stay logged in. So when I am logged in, I am constantly opening chests. I'm constantly checking my characters to see if they have talents to put the talent points in. See if I have any pieces of gear that need to be replaced. If I have pieces of gear to be replaced, I'll go to the market. I'll gamble on the market. I'll refresh the market. I'll go in the vault. I'll refresh the vault. I'll go to explore if I need certain resources. So this game can keep you busy for hours and hours if you have the time. So I saw some comments on the Steam page that this game was too slow. There's not enough progression. I don't know what they're talking about. I could play this game for 5 hours straight, and I will have something to do for that entire 5 hours. I went to work today and left my game online. You guys see I have probably a couple of thousand chests I have to open. Thousands of pieces of gear. 5 million gold worth of either gambling for prisoners, gambling for weapons, upgrading my characters, upgrading my weapons. Like, come on, guys. There's plenty to do in this game. Okay, that's going to do it for my top 10 tips and tricks on this video. Follow those tips and tricks, and I guarantee that you will get into tier 10 within your first day. Also, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, feel free to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment below on your favorite piece of gear, your favorite build. If you have any questions or if you want to see any guides in the future on builds, I can do that as well. Please leave me your questions, comments, concerns below. All right, guys, Riff out.